Okay, so we're ready to take this STAR test. We're reading the directions. We're reading and rereading the problem. So for instance, question number 1 here, the list shows the number of articles written by different reporters at a newspaper last month. Which dot plot displays the same data? So I can either 1, I can make my own dot plot and try to find the match, or 2, I can go through and look at these dots and see if they align with the list. So for instance, let's look at 0. 0 is listed 1 time. So there should be 1 dot above 0, right? So I'm going to go ahead and look at A, B. Oh, I already know B is not my answer choice. Okay, C has 1 dot and D has 1 dot. Now I'm going to move on to 1. 1 is also listed once, so we should have 1 dot above 1. That's correct, right? I can count the dots and label them to make it easier on myself as well. It's not going to be C, is it? We can just already look and say, well, there's 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. These all just have 1 dot, so that's not a good answer either. So now I'm in between A or D. All right, so the number we were on was 2, and we saw it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So we're looking for 4 dots above number 2. Good, so we're still in between A and D. Let's look and see. Do we have any 3s? No. No. All right, how about 4s? There's 1, 2. Okay, so 2 4s, 2 4s. All right, keep going. 5s, 1, 2 5s. Okay, so I have 2 5s here, 2 5s here. Great. Now 6s, we see once, twice, 3, 4 times. We should have 4 dots above 6. 2, 3, 4, that's correct. And then 1 8. They don't have the dot above 8. They had put it above 9, so it's not A. I'm looking at 8. There's 1 dot above it. My answer choice is D. Okay, let's try another one. So question number 2 says, Rita bought 3 4/48 pounds of bananas at the store. How is this number written in expanded notation? Okay, this is where our knowledge of place value comes in, right? So when you read and reread, Rita bought 3 48, 3 and decimal for the word and 48 hundredths. 3 4/48 pounds of bananas at the store. How is this number written in expanded notation? Well, this 3 is worth 3 1s, so I'm looking for 3 times 1. 3 times 1 here. No. And no. Okay, so it's in between F and H. Now I'm looking for 4 tenths. 4 times 1 tenth. 4 times 1 tenth. 4 times 100th. That's the hundredths place, so this is not right, so our answer is F. Go ahead and check and make sure the 8s are hundredths. Yes, 8 times 100th is 8 hundredths. Okay, so this number looks like 3 and 4, 8. Okay, so I have 3 plus 4 tenths plus 8 hundredths. 3 48 hundredths. All right, question 3. Hannah drew straight lines on her driveway with chalk. The table shows the lengths of the lines. What is the difference in meters between the length of line S and the length of line P? Hannah drew straight lines on her driveway with chalk. The table shows the lengths of the lines. So the title of this table is Hannah's Chalk Lines. First column is lines. Second column is the length in meters. What is the difference? When I see that word difference, I know I'm finding subtraction. This is going to be a subtraction problem to find the difference. What is the difference in meters between the length of line S, okay, line S, and the length of line P, okay? This is all I'm worried about. I do not need Q, I do not need R. Notice I just put a line through it. I don't scratch it all out where I can't see it anymore, because what if I make a mistake and I need to see that, you know? So just draw a line through it. So the difference, remember the top, the larger number goes on top. The difference between line S and line P. And this is where that wonderful grid paper comes in handy. So I'm going to get my grid paper and I'm going to write, for myself, I'm going to write Q3, question 3. Because if I'm going back later to look at my work and I want to double check my work and make sure I got it right, I want to be able to find it, right? So stay organized with your questions. All right, so for question 3, we are going to be subtracting 7/75 hundredths for line S and taking away line P. That was 1 8/10. I'm going to go ahead and put a space-saving 0 here. All right, and remember you're finding the difference, so you're subtracting. 5 minus 0 is 5. I can't take 8 out of 7, so I have to borrow. Hey neighbor, can I have 10? Sure. So you add the 10 over here to the tenths column. So 10 plus 7 is 17. Okay? 17 minus 8 we can do. Drop down the decimal. 6 minus 1 is 5. So the difference is 5 95 hundredths. And that is an answer choice. Excellent. All right, question number 4. Which figures appear to have 2 or more lines of symmetry? Which figures appear to have 2 or more lines of symmetry? Okay, do you remember what symmetry is? Think of like a butterfly that when it folds its wings in half and opens them up, it's exactly the same, a mirror image on the other side. So they're asking which have 2 or more. All right, so I can tell that if I go down the middle here, this is going to provide symmetry. If I go this way, it will also provide symmetry. Okay, same thing here. You need to be drawing at least 2 lines on these figures. Okay, this is going to provide a line of symmetry here, but not this way. Okay, so figure M is not supposed to be in the answers. So I can go ahead and get rid of ones that have an M in them. All right, so now we're only going to be choosing between F and H. All right, same thing here. I can do 1 line of symmetry. I can't do 2 or more. So it's not N. So anything with N, I'm going to get rid of. And that eliminates H. So our answer must be F. Figures K and L have 2 or more. 2 or more. Actually, let's do this. 2 or more lines of symmetry. All right, so you get the idea. You're going to go through the entire test showing your work. When I come across a word problem, I am going to do a UPS check. This one, number 6, Fran bought 4 shirts that were $13 each. She also bought a pair of socks for $4.29. What was the total amount Fran paid for the shirts and socks? That's a lot of information. Reread it. Fran bought 4 shirts that were $13 each. What does that mean? 4 times $13. She also bought a pair of socks for $4.29. What was the total? When you see that word total, that means you're going to be adding it up or multiplying. What was the total amount Fran paid for the shirts and socks? Okay, so we need both of these numbers combined. So right now you can just estimate. You can say in your head, okay, well, 4 times 10 is 40, plus another 449. My answer has to be at least $44.29. So F is no longer an answer choice, right? Okay. I can also say to myself, well, this is $13 even, so I'm going to multiply 4 times 13. I'm going to get an even number. Then I'm going to add this 4.29. So my answer is going to end with 29 hundredths or 29 cents. So it can't be H. That one ends in 16 cents. So now I need to check and say, is this correct or not? If it's not, then I'm going to choose not here. Okay, so we have a question mark. This might be our answer, we're not sure. This might be our answer, we're not sure. So then you would do your UPS check and you would figure it out and you would decide which of these answer choices is correct. Okay, so what do we know? Well, we know that there are 4 shirts and shirts are $13 each. We know that she also buys 1 pair of socks, and those are $4.29. Okay, our plan is to combine the amount paid for the shirts and the amount paid for the socks, right? So you think about it, you have 4 shirts. Okay, so let's see, we have a shirt, we have another shirt, and another shirt. Okay, and then we also have a pair of socks. We know that this shirt is $13, as is this one, and this one, and this one. Okay. We also know the socks are $4.29. We are solving for the total. That's the unknown, right? This is what we need to find. So how do we find that? Well, it's simple. We can either add all of these numbers up, or we can multiply 4 times 13 and add that to $4.29. Okay, so you're going to solve. I'm going to do 13 times 4 shirts. Okay, I'm going to solve for the shirts. I already know the socks. So $13 times 4. Well, I know that 10 times 4 is 40, and I know that 3 times 4 is 12. So when I put